Greetings and welcome to a special edition of Magnets, Crystals, and Pyramids. I am your host, Brother Ankh Rising Sun, also known as Uncle Hank. Today we're doing a special tribute on the birthday of Master. Brother Ankh Rising Sun, also known as Uncle Hank. Oh, hold on a second. Special hold tribute on the birthday of Master. Okay, hold on. We got a little technical problem here. I'm getting feedback. Okay, hold on. We got a little technical problem here. I'm getting feedback. Okay, hold on. We got a little technical problem here. I'm getting feedback. Oh, this is crazy. Okay. Okay, hold on. We got a little technical problem. I'm getting feedback. Oh, this is crazy. Okay. Okay, hold on. We got a little technical problem. I'm getting feedback. Oh, this is crazy. Let's try that again. Welcome, family, to Magnus, Crystals, and Pyramids. Thank you for your patience. We had a little technical difficulty. Let's try that again. Welcome, I'm getting some to Magnus, Crystals, and Pyramids. Thank you for your patience. We had a little technical difficulty. Let's try that again. All right, hold on. I'm getting some to Magnus, Crystals, and Pyramids. Thank you for your patience. We had a little technical difficulty. Let's try that again. All right, hold on. I'm getting some to Magnus, Crystals, and Pyramids. Thank you for your patience. We had a little technical difficulty. Let's try that again. All right, hold on. I'm getting some to Magnus, Crystals, and Pyramids. Okay, I'm having problems over here, but we see Brother Dooley. Um, want to give the acknowledgement. Okay, this is a special. I'm having problems over here. Hold on a second, Brother Dooley. Dooley, I'm having a little trouble with my. Want to give the acknowledgement. Okay, this is a special. I'm having problems over here. Hold on a second, Brother Dooley. Dooley, I'm having a little trouble with my. Want to give the acknowledgement. This is a special. I'm having problems.
Peace. Bob Kalindi here. Getting ready to do a mushroom grow class, mushroom grow workshop. You have to email me though, kalindi@hotmail.com. That's KILINDI at hotmail.com, so that you become independent in your mushroom journeys. You don't have to get it from nobody. You don't have to try to find it. You can become sovereign in your holding of your own mushrooms grown your way under your circumstances. Get with me. Email me, kalindi@hotmail.com. KILINDI@hotmail.com. Only those people who are serious and interested. Peace.
Can you hear me? I can't hear you, Hank. I
How
can't
long
hear
was
you,
that
Hank.
out? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Yeah.
Okay. What I was saying is this Wednesday is going to be the first, and thank you, Nikki, for that assistance. This Wednesday will be the first presentation of the Healing Circle downtown Brooklyn. Brother Dooley is going to be providing um, healing services, Cambo, Hape, energy projection. And folks, he does what I call that Dragon Ball Z stuff. That's amazing. This is going to be at the Marriott Hotel in downtown Brooklyn. This is live after 5. And this is what a room will look like that the healing circle will happen in. And you are welcome to contact our brother Dooley at 617-386-9502. And without further ado, let's invite our brother on. Welcome to the platform, Brother Dooley.
Thank you, Hank. I didn't hear anything you said earlier, so I'm sorry about that. So I don't know what the intro was with Kalindi and all that, but yeah. But I'm
Yeah, I
glad to
was
be
muted
here,
too,
man.
and I want to thank all the audience who sent the messages. We was out. We were both muted, so I did announce the upcoming healing circle, and I'll do it one more time this Wednesday every Wednesday, starting this Wednesday coming, which is March. I think it's, let me look at the calendar to make sure. That will be March 23rd. This coming March 23rd, 2022, Brother Dooley will be providing his services at the Marriott Hotel. Um, and to reach him, you can simply call 617-386-9502. And again, this is what the rooms of the Marriott, where he will be serving you, the public, for healing, elevation, transmutation. All right. Now, I want to make sure that everyone, can y'all hear me? Did that go through clearly? Because we had a little rough start. And I can hear you, Brother Dooley. If you unmute.
I can hear you. I can hear you. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, there's one thing I just want to share, Dooley, with the audience. This is my first time. You know, I've been pushing Kinkaliba tea. All right. And Kinkaliba tea, they say, heals everything except death. All right. This is the Kinkaliba bush. I had also, family, what tea provides liver detox, anti-inflammatory, anti-diabetic, weight loss, digestive aid, opiate detox, anti-cancer, lowers blood pressure, gallbladder detox. We all need this tea benefits. Okay. So what I was guided to do, and glory to my I am, was to literally mix Kinkaliba tea with nothing other than moringa. So I want to share with you a short clip on moringa benefits. And the combination I muscle tested, Brother Dooley, is incredible.
Throw everything away and replace it with moringa oleifera. And you better not scroll past this video. But first, I need you to hit the follow button and share it to everybody because they can all benefit. It has 7 times the vitamin C of oranges, 4 times the calcium of milk, 3 times the iron of spinach, and 3 times the potassium of bananas. Moringa is a fast-growing, drought-resistant tree that is native to India and Africa. It's anti-inflammatory, balances hormones, great for skin and hair, great for your heart, great for anemia. It's known as the horseradish tree, the benoil tree, or the drumstick tree. And these are the different parts of the tree that are used for medicinal purposes. You're gonna have to pause this part because I ain't naming all of this shit. You can get it in powder form, pill form, and you can even get the oil. Follow me for more shit like this.
And it's a wrap. I mixed Kinkaliba and moringa. Brother Dooley, it tastes great and the energy is a nice buzz, man. Just want to say that. Now, the one thing about acknowledging Master Kilindi Iyi on his birthday, he had a sense of humor. And with that humor, I want to share with you what I saved at one of his workshops. And this will be quick, but y'all got to hear this so we can have a laughter and the beginning of this tribute.
So she took 5 grams with a sitter who was her boyfriend. And the boyfriend came in and checked on her a couple of times saying, "You okay?" And she would say, "Yes." He checked on her twice, but she's tripping. She thinks he's coming in every 5 minutes, So, she didn't really have a powerful experience. So that night went on, and she came out of it fine. Said, "Well, it really wasn't expected. I didn't see no transdimensional beings, and I didn't go through no wormholes and all the stuff you be talking about on your lectures." I said, "Well, everybody's different. It's not a race or a rush. You just take it, a bit at a time." And so she was going to go wait another month or so and take a 7 with the boyfriend. But she's going out to a party and her waiting on the ride. And the ride said, "My daughter's got sick. I can't come. So, we're going to do a girls' night out." And so she was at home frustrated. She said, "Let me take these mushrooms." So I don't need, Henry here to watch me. I can do this. So she took 7 grams. and she got hemmed up in the house. And it was good. She had one of them New York, she's probably in Brooklyn or something like that, had one of them New York doors where you got the and put the little bar that goes up to the knob so nobody can kick the door in. So she couldn't get out. But stuff got chasing her around in the apartment. And she didn't have her boyfriend there in the second time to say, none's chasing you, you ate some mushrooms, go on back and sit down. If you want me to sit with you, turn the light on, we put on a little bit of, jazz or something, cool out. It's all right. Demons ain't chasing you through the house. So she running through the house screaming, they're after me, they're after me. So she calls her ex-husband, who's in a different country, and says, they're trying to kill me, they're trying to kill me. Click. So he's like trying to call her back. She can't find the phone. Trying to call her back, can't find the phone. So he calls her mother, who is Church of God in Christ, Pentecostal, Holy Roller.
Yeah, I know that.
So she calls, she can't get her daughter, she finally gets her, and the mother said, what's wrong? The demons are getting me, I can't get out. And it was good that she couldn't get out because she'd been running up and down the street talking about, I can't get out, or they chasing me, which ain't good. That's why you had a sitter with you for that, because 99.999 people take this, don't have a problem, but you always got one egg that's cracked in the box. Her mother said, the demons are chasing you, let me call the girls. So she gets her prayer group, they marching in there with their Bibles, they get the manager, they get the door open some kind of way between her and them and the manager, and they go in there and and she laid out on the floor and they're gonna pray the demons out of her, And that last 9 grams, I think it's still in the freezer because she won't talk to me. But it's about self responsibility, self-discipline. I can't do this for you. People call me at 3 o'clock in the morning from Boslavia. You said in your DVD that, I'm like, it's 3 o'clock in the morning here. I don't know what time it is in Boslavia, but you calling me, asking me all these questions and, what do I do? How do I? But the thing is that you're okay in the morning, but most people don't have no problem. But when you don't follow the directions and you just do something off the cuff, oh, these mushrooms ain't done, I'm gonna just take them, I'm just take them. What he said was gonna happen ain't happened. It was a little buzz last time, and hair was annoying me. That type of thing. Questions? And mushrooms works on your serotonin receptor sites also. So whatever it is that's screwing you up, that's making you depressed, it kicks that out of the serotonin receptor sites and docks in and gives you a better outlook and view on your life and how you're feeling. So microdosing does that. You don't have any hallucinogenic effects from it. It's just a cooling out and milding from taking a very, very small dose. My thing is the mega doses and not the microdoses, but people are using it for that. I get you. One thing we had.
So that was a story. Did you hear that, Dooley? Was you able to hear that?
I heard some of it. It was kind of going in and out on my end.
Yeah, what it was a story about a person not following the protocols of mushrooms and taking like 7 grams and then bugging out by themselves instead of having someone sitting with them. And then she called up her mama, and the mama was like into the Holy Ghost Pentecostal, and she went over there with her prayer girls, and there was addressing the situation. So
that's funny.
But this happens because of arrogance. And the thing that Master Kilindi spoke about is learning to be humble when you go into the plant kingdom. Humbleness and following the respectful protocols so that you will have a beneficial outcome. So welcome, Master Kilindi, you, the listening audience, and Brother Dooley. what would you like to share in your experience with Master Kilindi?
Well, first I want to give thanks to you, Hank, for having this show, to honor Master Kilindi, Baba Kilindi Iyi. And he was a big influence on a lot of people, you know. I met Baba Kalindi about almost 7 to 8 years, and it was funny. I remember the day. It actually, it was you, Hank, that told me to check him out, because I remember I was on Facebook, and I was supposed to do a talk at college at UMass Amherst on a talk urban. I remember you made a comment. Oh, got Sincere 7 on there. Okay, what up, Sincere? Yeah. All right, my brother. Yeah, that's my brother right there. So I remember you made a comment and you on my Facebook page, Hank, and you was like, "Oh, you're doing a talk there. You need to check this guy, Baba Kalindi." I remember you made this comment on my page, and I was like, "Okay, I'll check him out." I remember that night on the internet, check him out, and to find out that he was going to be one of the speakers at the same college where I was at. So, and excuse me, y'all, I'm outside here, so I hope y'all could still hear me. But, you know, so I went and I did the talk, and I remember Kalindi was very with my talk, and that meant a lot for me as a as someone who is just really getting my feet wet in this whole entheogen type of. So for him to say, "Hey, I really liked your talk. That was great," I was like, "Wow," you know, that was big for me. So I remember and me and Kalindi stayed at the same lodging in UMass Amherst, and you'll never believe this, Hank. I remember we went to see the place where we was gonna stay at, right? And they had this big, it had this hanging over the banister when we came in, and I was like, "What the hell?" And I remember I said to Hank, I was like, "Kalindi, you see this, man? What kind of racist crap is this?" You know what I mean? And he was so calm, like not says Baba Clay. He's you know, it's like the brother must have with who knows behind closed doors what this man had to deal with. Because let's be for real. You know, Kalindi would always say that there was no diversity when it came to the representation of talking about the psychedelics, talking entheogens. So they would always have Kalindi at these, when he would go to these colleges and these places to speak, they would always have him early in the morning to the psychedelic, and you know, people, the audience wouldn't be there to hear him. You know? So I would always give props to Baba Kalindi, because he was always in that mode to let people know that people of color have a place in this as well. You know, it's not just a thing that's being run some scholarly white guys with these little alphabet letters behind their names, you know. And he would always say that, "Hey, you guys are the so-called experts, but you're not going in with the method. It's all intellectual." So if you're going to talk about this, hey, how many of y'all are really going deep with this and going in so you can really back up that information that you're talking about there? You know, that was something I always appreciated about Baba Kalindi. And I was already on my journey already with the sacred medicines, but it was Baba Kalindi who people to go deeper, to go deeper, to go deeper. You know, so when we think of people like guys, when a lot of people that are into the psychedelic, they usually hear the name Terrence McKenna, right? And they say, "Oh, Terrence McKenna," and he's the guy that says, you know, the 5 grams is the ultimate experience. Baba Kalindi, for the audience, this man would go 40 grams and up. You know what I mean? I think the last thing he did was like 50 grams of dried mushrooms. 55. So, okay, hold on. Oh, sincere, I think you're 55?
No. From the last conversation I had with Baba, he had did 44 on his last one. He was planning on going in on 50 next, and that was the last one.
Okay, he did 44. Okay. Well,
So
anybody that does, yeah, I'm sorry.
thank you, Dooley. I just want Sincere Seven to speak, brother, about how Baba Kalindi impacted your life, brother.
Oh man! First of all, I just want to say I give honor and thanks, for allowing me on your platform to speak on the great one, man. Happy birthday to Baba. Well, man, well, a little different than Dooley. I actually was not on the medicine path before I met him. I'm a prior service military veteran. I had anger issues, things of this nature, and I was representing the nation of 5%, okay, at the time. And so my big brother, he came to me one day and he was like, "Hey man, you need to do some mushrooms." And I'm like, "You do some mushrooms? I smoke weed, I'm serious." I'm like, "Yo," and when I said you do them, he was like, "I have." And I'm like, "What?" He was like, "Yeah, I went through with Moodoo." I'm like, "Went through? What do you mean went through?" He was like, "Yo, Moodoo like took me through." I mean, like, all right, I'll do it. I don't know what you're talking about, but all right, because I know my brother, he's not the type to deal with things that are questionable. You understand? This is that type of cat. So I was like, all right. So that was when I first met Moodoo. And I went through my first 7-gram trip. That was the first time I had did them, 7 grams. And overnight, it healed my anger issues. Now, this is the funny thing about it. Now that I'm doing them, I'm enjoying this. So I'm talking to Moodoo, and he's giving me the explanation of, all of these things. And so about the third time that I did them, with Moodoo, I said, I want to be honest. I don't want to be disrespectful. I apologize if I already have, but after the first time, I got so turned out on these that I started learning to grow them, and I've been taking my wives through because I was polygamous at the time. And so Moodoo told me, he was like, "Not only are you not being disrespectful, but that was the plan." He's like, "Baba sent me to get y'all." You know what I'm saying? He sent this. He wanted you all to experience this. He's saying that the ego that you all walk with, if you're going to speak on yourselves as highly, you need to experience it. Now, simultaneously, all this time, I'm deciding to go through martial arts training, and I'm researching. And the young lady that I was dealing with was the daughter of a martial art master, Willie Adams. And so hearing about him and reading about him, I went and started studying under his lineage off of 7 Mile in Detroit. And all of the brothers was at lunch one day, and I walked in and I had my gi on, and they was like, "Oh, look, Karate Kid," making jokes. And they said, "No, we just playing though. Yo, you training for real? Who you training with?" So I said, "Man, come on, man. You already know anything I'm gonna do with the best. I'm with the best." And simultaneously, everybody at the table went, "Oh, Kalindi." And I went, "Wait, who? Wait, no, Willie Adams." And when I said that, they all started laughing. No disrespect to Willie Adams. If anybody know him, we know how this is. But it let me know that I was looking from a tournament point of view, and they explained it to me like, "Nah, man, Timerian is a warrior art. They're not even allowed into the tournaments and things." And after going and speaking to my instructors, I had some ego back then, and I basically kind of asked the question leading to like, "How would y'all measure up to Baba?" And the response was very martial art masterish, like, "There is no better." Like, but the face was like, "I'm not finna speak on that, man. Like, don't even put me in that place." And I knew right then and there, and I stopped training anywhere else immediately and started training under Timerian.
Beautiful.
I was looking for the man, and somebody was like, "There he goes right there. That's Baba Kilindi." I said, "That's Baba." Man, I've been knowing dude. Like, I always called him the old dude because he used to be outside of my children's school with the pizza oven that he builds. You know what I'm saying? For those of y'all who know about that sand pizza oven, he would just be like, and so like I would see him, but never knew who he was. So all of these things, all of these stories that I'm telling was separately, all of these came together like within a year or two. And after that, and meeting him, you know, anybody who knows Baba knows that he was a real down to earth type of brother. He would really sit and talk with you. If you knew what you were talking about, he ain't with no games. But if you really had a passion, he would sit and after he seen that I had the passion for the mushrooms, that was like, you know, where our bond was at. You know, he would come over. We would sometimes talk, you know what I'm saying? He would come in, I would call him up, tell him what I'm doing, ask for advice. And he just was, you know, a true friend, a brother, a teacher, a father, you know, like, I mean, he was a legend. You know, when people say that, we don't just mean now that they're gone. They was a legend when they were here. You know what I'm saying? You just had to know.
Right.
And I got to say, me being in Detroit, I hate that I don't understand how great the man was that lived down the street from me. It took other people to flood to Detroit to come and honor him. And it's like, all y'all know him? And then I understood his impact. But for me, my kids, me, it was just all around. He was always around. You know, he was that guy. It was an honor to you know, even have him as a part of our story, as far as me and my family.
Well, thank you for that, brother. Thank you. And we're going to bring in the brothers in. We're bringing y'all in.
We're in.
We got the family coming in. Amsu. Oyi.
Right.
Shoot.
All right.
You are.
Yes, indeed.
So y'all got. I want to acknowledge Oyi for bringing in the fam. I want to thank Brother Dooley. I want to thank you, Sincere Seven. Amsu, I want to thank you for being here. And I want to also give acknowledgement to Sister Nikki for helping out. And a special shout out to Rashana for helping to bring the healing circle to the next level. So pre-happy birthday, Taurus.
Thank you, Rashana. You getting a Pisces in order, love.
Yeah. So go ahead, brothers. Y'all got the mic. Because y'all came on the same time. Y'all jumped in here like a tag team in a wrestling match.
Hey, I just wanted to one thing I learned in my martial arts school was we honor and respect the masters that came before us and strive to follow in their example. And I can't talk about Kalindi without talking about Tantric Master, Grandmaster Sunyata Saraswati, who introduced Kalindi to me through the circle of power. So I didn't meet Kalindi physically. I met his cooking through another Black Grandmaster, knew nothing about the mushrooms, which I thought was for white people and the same thing as LSD. And then met this brother here, Brother Amsu, who said, why you ain't taking no mushrooms? This in 2018 now. So I learned the circle of power in 2003. And now 15 years later, Amsu says, yo, you got to take some mushrooms. I came to the mushrooms on my birthday. Best experience of my life. And then I'm leaving. And he called me the next day and say, oh, we're going to have to learn how to grow. And I say, I can't even grow a cold. So all I can do is grow mucus. I don't know how to grow no vegetables. I'm sorry. He was like, oh no, Kalindi got a video. Kalindi can teach us. I was like, why that name sounds so familiar? It was because I had talked to him about 3 years prior to that when I found him concerning just martial arts. I sit there on the phone for 2 hours, didn't even mention no entheogens, no mushrooms, no nothing. And then, so it was Amsu, Dr. Amsu, that said, hey, take your mushrooms first. He was the person that sat for me. He was the person that guided me through. He's also my personal doctor. He's the first Black acupuncturist in North Carolina. He's been doing this over 20-some plus years. Studies Luhu Bafa, Qigong's, got a degree in engineering from Virginia State. He a bad joker. So when he said, yo, you need to holler at Kalindi, I was just like, let me go holler at him. And took the course or took the video on how to grow mushrooms, and the rest is history. So I couldn't be here if it wasn't for Baba Amsu off the muscle. I had to say that before I get into anything else. This brother right here is the hidden one. That's him. Put it on him. There you go.
You got it, brother. You got it.
Right, right.
That was good. Words of well spoken, brother Oyi. Thank you. Hang in there, brother. Go ahead, brother.
Thank you, brother Hanky, and brother Oyi's words are too kind, really, because I appreciate the invitation, and I can only be here because, like all of us, we can only stand on the shoulders of our predecessors, and I have to mention Baba Majegna, Ishmael Jamal, who many years ago he brought together many healers, and I still have that one of those magazines that he had going back to 1990, and Baba Kilindi's in there doing Tamarian martial arts. He has an article in there, so he has many, several other people in there. And for with Jamal, he did mention things in regards to the mushrooms and things, but they were more for culinary purposes. And like anything else, I guess going back that far, we perhaps weren't ready as a group, as a nation, really to move forward with it because of so much that had been done with other, the street drugs and all that. So I can only stand on his shoulders and give thanks to the information because all of us are here to serve in some capacity. And one of the things that the brother used to say to me is like, hey man, you either gonna serve or you gonna suffer. And I know all the brothers on here, everyone is about service. So as long as I'm serving, I'm in a good place. I feel good about it. That's what we do here at this facility that we have here. And I'm so glad to be on here. And I had the chance to meet Baba Kilindi and actually showed him first time back in 17, 18, that old newspaper. And we had a chance to go down to Oaxaca with him and on the Food of the Gods tour. And so that was really my first time connecting with them. And once that happened, it was my objective and my duty and those who have always looked out for me. And Oyi has been one of those brothers to share what I had gone to get. And so here we are. And hey, I'm good to see these wonderful faces on here. And let's go.
Okay, thank you. Very well said. And it's an honor to have all you brothers on the platform. Brother Oyi, tell us what is currently what's happening in the entheogen world at present with the sun gods and goddesses blossoming.
My particular opinion and my observation.
Go ahead, brother. That's loaded.
Absolutely. You won't catch me out here. You know what I'm saying? You see, I said my opinion and my observation is it is the wild, wild west. There's a video of Baba Kalindi over at the Breaking Convention and saying we are just infants in this and have not learned to even stand up yet. And he said, but it's going to be a while before we can even walk because we haven't even learned really to stand up erect by ourselves. So it's a wild, wild west out here, and there's a lot of people finding their places. COVID was probably the best thing. By driving everyone indoors, it drove everyone inside. And there was an explosion of people probably coming to everyone on the screen. You probably ain't never served so many people consecutively, like asking and saying, well, it's COVID outside, but I'm trying to get my healing on the inside. Can I come see you, Brother Hank? Can I come see you, Dooley? Can I come see you, Sincere? That is what I watched with my eyes. I watched the healing and all the things that was going on, right? Baba Kalindi, what was expressed to me, I put that same thing as far as we honor and respect the brothers that came before us and strive to follow in his example. So he left me or the world with 13 podcasts that were on my blog talk. And after every show, no matter what the topic was, tantra, relationships, spiritual house, becoming an ancestor, he would always talk about set and setting. And after the 3 hours, he would go and we would have a private after party on a conference line, and everybody was like, I need somebody to sit for me, because he stressed how important it was to have somebody sitting for you. And
say it again, brother. Say it again.
Go into higher doses, 5 grams, 7 grams, 9 grams, into double digits. It was important to have someone. And when he said it, I didn't have to think twice, because I had a Baba Amsu who gave me everything that I needed. Won't know nothing. I can't relate to somebody saying they have a bad trip, because my first 2 trips was with Baba Amsu, and then he coached me through my third one. So I put together what I got from him, what Baba Kalindi shared with me, and then what I got from Dr. Jerry with the Bufo.
Special shout out to Dr. Jerry.
Shouts out to Dr. Jerry. Big
yes.
Shout out to Dr. Jerry. Absolutely. Put all that together.
Dr. Jerry in the house.
And I created or the Gin room here in Atlanta was born, which I meant to turn on. I didn't know y'all were this early. I'm gonna probably jump off of here and jump back into the Gin room, because I want everybody to see the tribute. We're talking about tributes. I want folks to be able to see it. And so, last year in the entheogenic community of Baba Kalindi, shoulders that I stand on, as well as a lot of other people, I think I did 35 ceremonies and probably took 75 people through, somewhere around 75 people.
Wow.
My goal was 144. So I only got 50% success. And then we started adding the Bufo ceremonies. And right now, I think it's just like brothers that look like us. I was just having this conversation yesterday. Black people are looking for Black people to sit with them when they're doing medicine. Black people do not necessarily trust white people to sit and understand what I'm going through when I've got to go through my, as Sincere said, he calls it anger, I call it passion. You know what I'm saying? My early childhood traumas. These particular things are things that Black folks see, some long hair, see somebody with necklaces on, see somebody with kente cloths, but we got to show people who got integrity. And everybody on this screen, everybody in this room is down with integrity. So it's Black people looking for Black people with integrity who know what they're doing. And that's what I think Baba Kalindi was all about. He would go to these places in faraway countries and said, how can you talk if you ain't never done it yourself? Shut your mouth. And I was just like, you know what? You got it. And so now, right. I think it's just important that we now do like they say in the Navy. In the Navy, you want to train 2 people behind you. So that means somebody else will always be able to sit. That's what I wanted. I wanted now I want 75 people to sit for 3 people next year. In 2022, I want the 75 people I sat with to sit with just 3 people. Just 3 people. This basic math now, 75 times 3, that's like 225. Now we got 225 sitters who have experienced it on that drip, because that's Kalindi's teachings that I'm passing down as far the teachings that I have. There's a big confusion too that some people think I was with Kalindi for 20 years. I absolutely was not. Okay. And I ain't never said I was. But just like I had a 3rd grade teacher and a 4th grade teacher and a 5th grade teacher, I honor and respect my 3rd grade teacher as much as I respect my college professor in economics. He was my teacher for the brief time that I had to spend with him. And I, being proud of myself and a master student, I extracted as much as I could. You know what I'm saying? About whatever, whenever I had that time, just like Brother Sincere, I love listening to Brother Sincere and Baba Dooley and Baba Amsu and General Firewater, if he comes on today, about their particular experiences too. So, man, I'm very happy, especially as an astrologer, because the mushrooms done took me to the next level with my astrology, thanks to Baba Amsu and Baba Kalindi and all the people I get to practice on. I get to practice on Baba Sincere, and I get to practice on, you know what I'm saying, different people. And it's just a great thing, man. And I really look forward to the decriminalization that's come along. And like Baba Kalindi said, find your place in this thing so it won't look like the cannabis industry. And I can speak on that later, but I just want to pass the mic. But that's it for me, man. We're going to find our place in this industry so the same thing don't happen to us that happened in the cannabis industry.
Yeah, very well said. Build on these brothers.
Yeah. You know, one thing I like to say on that is And just right, following up with what Oyi said is that all of us have a place in this, and for us to distinguish that path, some people will grow, some will do things to explore, and one of the things that I know that is important for us is to give honor and not be afraid to be courageous, and to share this with our friends, with our community, because at this point in the game, the technology is here. Oyi mentioned something in regards to, he didn't spend 20 years with Baba Kalindi, but everyone that's on this screen right now represents a master in the place that the journey that they've taken. And many times masters, we meet along the way. Back in the ancient days, you may walk up on someone, they say, well, how's your Tao? And that's basically to say, okay, how's your day? What's going on? If you're living this Tao, then those judgments that we have around one another, or the way that we look at the world as being linear, is now can be expanded. And today we're honoring Baba Kalindi, and today will be his birthday, his Earth Day, his solar return, and with his presence, we're able to have this discussion. That's the thing about it is that perhaps we're hanging out with our friends, and we say, hey, let me go down here and pick this buttercup, and next thing you know, there's a slip. And in our minds, it's like, oh, I fell. But then when we come back, hey man, we just took a long path, a long walk back on a short path to get where we were. But actually, we're still dreaming. So let's just live the dream.
Yes. Thank you for those words, brother. And I want to take a moment to say how at the time before I met Kalindi, I would see him I would see online and on YouTube and um, uh, pictures of him. And there was at that time I was heavy into ayahuasca, and I mean I was doing it sometimes 2 and 3 times a week, and it felt great. And I was vending at the Dance Africa in downtown Brooklyn when they had parking lots, and I was at a table with all my products on the table, and the medicine, the ayahuasca kicked in and had me leave the table and walk into the crowd. And as I walked into the crowd, I turned left and was just following the ayahuasca. And it led me right up to Master Kilindi. And I looked at him and shook his hand and said, ayahuasca. And that was the beginning. That was the beginning. And right there, he had a iPad with all the photos of how the mushrooms was glorified and depicted in ancient Egypt. This is before any of the conscious community, the Hotep brothers and sisters, none of them, not even the elite brothers of the African consciousness would embrace psychedelics because of our trauma from the drug epidemics of crack and heroin. They would not touch the psychedelic origins in ancient Kemet, in the ancient world. And Baba Kalindi would have pictures to prove that ancient Kemet was a psychedelic civilization. I'm going to touch on that.
Who gonna touch on that? He said he wanted us to touch on that.
For a minute.
You know what I mean? So I mean, me touching on it would be kind of just piggybacking off of what you're saying. Is like, just seeing the lectures and hearing him. He was the first and only individual Well, no, I can't say the only, because Baba Mudu, he be breaking stuff down. You know what I'm saying? Brother LeBaron, some other individuals who be breaking some things down. But he definitely was the first that I sat and heard and seen. Like you said, he would have the photos for you. Like, no, you ain't got to believe me. Read the article for yourself. What they say? You know what I'm saying? He encouraged it. Go study for yourself, you know, and pointing out, like you said, all of the intricacies going all the way back, like you said, to Egypt, to the motherland, through the lands, you know, even now all the way to the beach we dealing with the Iboka. You know what I'm saying? To this day, it still all goes back. But, you know, starting with that mushroom as the beginning entheogen. Yeah, he was the one who taught me that. So again, me speaking on it would be backing you up, you know what I mean? What you asked, but who got a little more, you know, verbalization qualification to speak on it? Go ahead.
Okay. Brother Oyi was here. He dropped out.
I did want to say something, because I think in general all of us we're a collective consciousness, just like what the mushroom brings to us. And so whatever your experience is in taking the mushroom, perhaps it would be a journey back into time or into another dimension in dealing with what you have connected to Egypt. And as we look at some of the ancient relics or hieroglyphics, we definitely see what was going on now, that we can recognize the pictures. As I, you know, myself, even in using Asian medicine, acupuncture, Chinese medicine, when I look at some of the photos now, I'm looking at Kuan Yin, some of the doctors, and they were like wearing mushroom caps and different jewelry, the Yiming Jews. Some of their gods were holding the mushrooms in their, you know, in their talons, or something to that degree. So what Baba Kalindi brought forward for us is to be able to recognize that, and to be able to see that this information was right there in front of us, and we just had to open our eyes or open our hearts to say that, to accept it.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
Yeah, I would love to ask there with but that's what blew my mind when I brought Baba Kalindi to Boston, and he had this slideshow. All of our minds. We're talking cathedrals, doing the mushroom symbolism is there. So you're talking about secret societies that were there, and for those like Dr. Emsu said, those who have eyes to see would recognize this all around them, you know? So big up to Baba Kalindi on the ancient traditions. And also, you know, we talk about the Ying Manzu, you know, so ahead of his time. We're talking about interdimensional crystals. We're talking about high technology of how to use the mushrooms. So people, they might, when you have people, they're looking at people that just, oh, I'm going to sit down and have a journey. Kalindi was telling people how to use the mushrooms, tap into different constellations, how to download certain informations on your trip to bring it back into these special crystals and stuff. So he gave his students in special interdimensional crystals, sit down, go in with this medicine, and start doing the work. You know, so again, he was way ahead of his time, and like a lot of people would say, your classic character matrix, Morpheus, really bringing us together and telling us this is what time it is. You know, so I just wanted to add on with that, y'all. Thank you.
Yeah, I got my transdimensional quartz crystal from Baba when he was releasing them. Went in on 16 grams and learned how to use it. I got my first Yiming Zhu. Actually, the first day that I actually met Baba Oyi-san, like toad venom ceremony. He had went through his toad venom. I received my Yiming Zhu all in the same day. So yeah, Baba definitely was blessing us with the knowledge of moving forward, what's about to happen, what's coming. One thing that General Firewater points out recently. Baba always let it be known, and through all the videos and things that he says, you never hear him talk about any further than 2022. He lets it be known through 2020 to 2022. All of your powers come on deck. After 2022, all bets is off. And it's like he was preparing us, like he said, modern day Morpheus. He was giving us the transdimensional quartz crystals, the Yiming Jews, giving us the different entheogens and sparking us to go deeper. No, this stuff is deeper than you think. Go deeper. He used to say, if you ain't came out no trip and felt like, oh, I ain't never doing that again, and threw all your mushrooms away and be like, I quit, you ain't never did enough.
Speaking of which, here's a photo of ancient Egypt, ancient Kemet, and the embracing of the shrooms. Right here, hidden in plain sight.
That looked like PF Tech technique too. That looked like they grew it all out of a mason jar.
Wow.
And the thing is, how many times before, say, 5-10 years ago, you could look at that hieroglyphic and not even recognize that. It's like
Right.
there was no line.
Wow.
You know, so we definitely done some elevation. Because this is right here, what you showing, Hank, is what Dr. Amsu did to me. I've been studying Kemetic sciences for over 25 years. And he showed me a book called Psychedelic Gospels. And it was a white husband and wife team that was going around to ancient temples all over the world. And they were pointing out this exact image in the Jewish synagogues, in the Catholic churches, in the Kemetic temples. And I was mad at myself that I had overlooked it, because it wasn't like they photoshopped it in. Like it been there. I've been looking at the wall. So that's sometimes where I get a little frustrated with the quote unquote conscious community who talk about they don't want to do no mushrooms. I just be like, how is you talking about Kemet? And or how is you talking about Ifa? Because Kemet is a part of Africa. Ifa is supposed to be an African tradition. Well, then when are you going to start having a conversation about mushrooms? I'm just asking a simple question as a curious person, which is what the universe is. The universe is curious. So I just want to know when we're going to start having this conversation. And I got to send you this track, Baba Hank, that one of the shows that Kalindi did. My cousin is a producer now. He's an engineer and a producer in Atlanta. And I took an 8-minute cut off of one of the blog talks. And in the middle of it, Kalindi says, you ain't doing what the ancient ones was doing because you ain't doing what the ancient ones was doing.
Whoa.
One more time. Wow. You ain't doing what the ancient ones is doing because you ain't doing what the ancient ones was doing. Everybody wants to know, can I take mushrooms with peanut butter? Can I put lemon tech with it? Can I put it in a tea? Can I put it on my pizza? Can you shut your mouth for 5 seconds and just honor the ancestors that came before you? Why don't you just try doing it like them? That was the thing. Kalindi wasn't really giving up no hacks. It wasn't no shortcut. He didn't say, he actually warned against trying to jump out there on 20 or 30 grams your first try. Don't you try that. You better step it up very slow and realize there's no competition. There's no competition in finding out who you are and discovering yourself.
Yeah. And that was excellent. And I want to build on what you just said, Oyi and family. Ancient Kemet or ancient Egypt had ayahuasca, the acacia tree, which is called the tree of life in the Bible, the burning bush of Moses, Ark of the Covenant, Noah's Ark. It is loaded with the active ingredients in the acacia wood itself, combined with what they call African rue or Syrian rue, and blending those together with lemon juice, you will have an experience, because I honestly feel that, Brother Oyi, acacia tree is probably from another star system, because whenever I experience the Egyptian or the Kemetic ayahuasca, it's always beyond the physical realms. I just want to share that. Dooley, kind of hold still, brother, because you flashing everywhere. You know, just hold if you can. If you can't hold your space, unless they looking for you, hold your space. I know it ain't easy out here, but I just wanted to share that. Yeah. So
No, that makes a lot of sense what you said, Hank. If you look at the mushrooms, they say they travel, right? So we'll look alien technology. Look at the level of some of these entheogens or these psychedelics. They travel from planet to planet to enlighten. You know, so we're looking at a technology that's trying to wake people up. This humanity is wake up time.
yeah.
We gotta go. We gotta seats to this planet. You know, to wake up the sleeping giants. You know,
And
I totally agree with. This is definitely.
You're breaking up a lot, Dooley. You're breaking up. You must be on the move because it's coming in and out. The sound coming out in and out.
I would
go ahead, brother.
Right behind you on that though. I actually am located in Detroit, and I run the Psychonaut Academy of Detroit. So we basically are the place that we introduce and educate our community about the different entheogens and things of this nature. And I have recently started working with ayahuasca, you know what I'm saying, more heavily. And I gotta say that ayahuasca is definitely, as he said, a beautiful medicine. And we have actually structured it here at the Psychonaut Academy of Detroit now, where when you come here, instead of going through mushrooms first, we take them through the ayahuasca first because of the cleansing, the purgative, the healing, and the calmness. You know, that ayahuasca is known as grandma, the grandma ayahuasca. She comforts you, you know what I'm saying, while she takes you into the entheogenic realm. So then when you're done with that, now you go ready to go hang with your cousins. The mushrooms is more like the cousins, you know what I'm saying? You never know what you're going to get, you know what I'm saying? They might want to run down the street and go get into a whole bunch of stuff, or they might just sit back, play some video games. So you not knowing how the trip is going to go. So that ayahuasca, as you said, bro, definitely a beautiful signature. I definitely advise people, if you haven't, to try that out, because it is different than mushrooms, but it does have that kind of same signature. It just allows you to get that cleansing and that release and purging out of those things to get you prepared for what the mushrooms are going to actually give you and teach you. So I like that you actually touched on that as well.
Yeah. And it's glorified as the acacia tree. But what I want to ask now, my brothers, I want to ask you some of the experiences and breakthroughs that you have seen with individuals in the benefit of going into the shroom spore network. Like, what kind of downloads have you gotten that was very healing or elevating for a person? I see a smile. I see smiles.
I'm gonna go first. One of the Hank, I don't know how transparent I can be. Can I be blunt? I don't know. I
Yo,
mean,
keep
it's
it
your show.
straight.
I got to
Straight.
ask permission
Yo,
first.
let it rip, brother. Let it rip. Let it rip.
The one thing about the conscious community is niggas be lying too much. Niggas be lying too much. And the mushrooms don't let you lie to yourself any longer. Now, when you come out, you may try, but for 6 hours, 6 hours, it's like your mind got kidnapped and somebody put duct tape over your mind's mouth, and all you can deal with is the truth down in your gut, down in the dantian, down in the navel where the life force is at, and the abdominal brain. That has been numero uno. So when somebody says, so what's it like in the gingin room, or I said, you have the opportunity to finally spend some time with yourself and not be able to lie to yourself. Some people don't realize, oh, I need to heal from this, I need to heal from that. if you would just stop lying for 3, 4, 5, 6 hours and let the truth come to the surface and go ahead and cry. Go ahead and cry. Go ahead and purge through the eyes. Don't worry about throwing up. You need to be throwing up them tears about the truth that came up because you couldn't lie. When people come and do ceremonies now at 5 grams or higher, and I can, and probably Baba Sincere and Baba Amsu can concur, is that people come back with a whole bunch of it don't matter. They realize that a lot of shit really don't matter that they was lying about. They ain't gonna like me after this, Baba Hank. I'm sorry,
bro. Truth, brother. Go ahead, let it drop. Drop it like it's hot.
Why would you keep? And then somebody saying, I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know if I'm gonna come back in my right mind. I said, you asking that question lets you know that you're not in your right mind right now. If you like to defend your pre-mushroom mind to keep it, you know good and damn well you in trouble. You better hurry up and rush to New York or to North Carolina or to Detroit or to Atlanta and jump in there and get some kind of damn ceremony, because you lying, thinking that this mind that you have with no entheogens is the one for you. No, it is not. We are in trauma bonded relationships with our mind, which is in our conversations, which has led to trauma bonded relationships in the physical and in the spiritual. And until we can get some detox out here and some open this stuff up, we're going to keep having the same thing. So the people that I'm seeing, and myself included, I can't lie no more. I can't lie to myself no more about stuff, which now lets me pick up when other people are lying like this. You can pick up a lie so quick when after you do mushrooms, then you're looking at your family. You know what I'm saying? And then Malachi York said this one time in a class, over 700 people on Tamaray in Georgia. I was there. He said, some of you wish you could read minds, but then you would go into your mother's house and say, I love you. And she would say, I love you too. And then you could read her mind that she don't love you. Are you ready for that? Are you ready for that?
Speak about it.
This is truth, man.
I'm going to tell you, I had the experience one time. Because in our community, you know, we're survivors of a broken people, and we got a lot of trauma. And I met this beautiful sister one time who had a lot of trauma from childhood, and so I said, you know what? She was open, and she said, I want to tap into my joy that I've never felt, my happiness, and I want to tap into my multi-orgasmic nature. Okay. And it was like in early summer. So we set and put our intentions on the mushrooms. She did. And I was holding space for her. Brothers, family, sisters, after she consumed the mushrooms, she must have did about 10 grams. Easy 10 grams. First, in about 40 minutes, she started laughing. And the laughing kept building. And she literally, her laughter got so rich and strong. I remember it echoed out my open window and bounced back off the apartment building wall from across the street.
Yeah.
That happened for about 3 hours. And then it changed up and she started having full body orgasms. Peeled out of all of her clothing. I was just holding space. And she became a waterfall of bliss. This lasted, brothers, families, sisters, until 1 o'clock in the morning. And we had an ayahuasca circle that came in. The sisters came in around 9 o'clock. Do you know what the sisters said? We want what she had.
Right. Yeah.
That was one. If you want to really know where you came from, and if you have the audacity and courage to see where you're going, where you want to end up, a brother came through with that tenacity. And he said, carried across galaxies and galaxies to a planet covered with pyramids. And he received the download. this is where you came from. And he wanted to see where he would end up. And he was carried into the future. This brother was single, no children. And when he saw his gravesite, and he said his daughter was standing on his grave, like connecting with him. Now, over time, that was years later, he did have a child, and the firstborn was a girl. So, sharing with you, family, shrooms, the magic mushroom, is a ship. It's a time machine. It's a spaceship that can take you to the smallest microcosmic level, to a galactic overview. And before you even take off, you don't go walking into the ship, you eat the shroom ship. And it scans you from head to toe to see if you are ready, competent for intergalactic access to knowledge, wisdom, technology, travel. And if you have stuff that needs to come up out of your chakras from trauma, it's going to spin your chakras so fast that it will manifest, and you will say, "Oh, I'm seeing monsters." Those were the monsters that was walking with you. That's all I share.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So I got a little something that I usually tell this story amongst intimate settings with my village or whatnot. But this is one of the greatest experiences that I've had. I've had, some nice ones. I've got some people who've stopped drinking alcohol, healed from sexual abuse, all of these types of things. But this is one of the greatest stories that I feel I have to tell about these magic mushrooms and what they do. So as I stated earlier, I had multiple women, and it was like 20 years ago at the time. No, it wasn't that long ago. No, it wasn't. It was like 10 years ago.
Okay.
It seems like a long time. It was about 10 years ago. And this was, like I said, after being introduced to the mushrooms and going in real heavy. Now it's been about 2 years, I think, into dealing with the mushrooms real heavy. And my queens, they said to me one day, "Well, we've never seen you go through. You always sit for us. We want to see you while you in the altered state of consciousness." So I said, "Okay, well, let me go back and lay down and consume my shroom. I don't want you to be there when I'm going in. Once about an hour or two passes by, you can come back and, look at me, or I don't know what y'all want to see, but you can come look at me." Okay, I go in the room, take the mushrooms. So my first queen, she comes in. She was from Africa, Nigeria. She left there when she was like 12, 14 years old. And that, I'm saying that because what's going on. When she walks into the room, first thing she does is she touches the bottom of my foot for whatever reason. I didn't say touch me, okay?
Wow.
So when she did, I got up and I went to the bathroom. And when I came back in the room, completely naked, and I did a full tribal dance that represented something from her Nigeria. I don't know nothing about African dance. She told me I did the dance step by step perfectly, as if the ancestors put the dance in me so she could have the answer to the question that she was asking this week, that she was struggling with. Okay, that's light work. So she goes back into the house and she tells the queen, like, "I went in there and touched his foot and he did a dance. And remember I was telling you I was struggling with this decision? Well, the dance he did, my ancestors showed me this is what I'm supposed to do." So the other queen like, "Dang, I'm about to go back there." She comes back and she put her hand on my heart. Why did she do this? I don't know. I didn't say touch me. I said y'all can see me. She put her hand on my chest. Immediately, I witnessed her entire life from birth up until the moment she put her hand on my chest. And when I say I experienced it, I mean I seen it as well as felt it. I'm a man. I'm trying to figure out how am I even feeling what I'm feeling. And y'all know what I'm talking about. Everything, every assault, every tragedy, every trauma, every tear. In like 2 or 3 minutes, it just flushed in front of me. And I'm just sitting here seeing it all. And I broke down and started crying. I fell onto the floor and I looked up and I cried for about 10 minutes hard. And I just kept saying, "Why didn't you tell me? Why didn't you tell me?"
Wow.
I cried until I had no energy left. Now watch this. This is where it gets good at. I'm out of energy and I get up and I sit in a chair. And when I sit down, I just look at her and I say 2 names, blank, blank. I ain't gonna say it now, but I said 2 names. And she looked at me and she said, "That's my father's name." Instantly, My eyes rolled back in the head, and boom, her father jumps inside of me, or what I'm pretty sure was her father, because he proceeded to tell her that, now mind you, this woman is 50 plus. He proceeded to tell this woman that the woman that you call mother is not your mother. That's not your mother. When you listen.
Drop it, brother. Go ahead.
Okay. He told her, I was running the streets with this woman, and I was having sex with a younger girl. She was like 16. And when she got pregnant, her parents said she's not finna have no babies. We giving it up for adoption. So the day you was born, I came to the hospital and told her parents, I'm the father, give me my baby. And they said, take it. And I took you home, and I told who you call mother, this woman at home, this our baby, don't ask me no questions. We gonna raise her. And she said, okay, he a street dude. This how it happened. And she accepted it. And 8 years later, he died. So now this woman continues to raise this daughter, but she met another man, and we know where this is going. Tragically, why can I say that? And you already know what I'm going to. That's a horrible thing. So yeah, so after he violates her sister, all of this, she reports it to the police. The guy ends up getting locked up. Okay, 2 years later, she about to get out of jail, and her mother tells her, I love you, but that's my husband. He's coming home. If you can't be here, you got to go. So what she do? She starts stripping. So this white boy named Rick met her at the strip club. She started dealing with him, and she learned how to cook dope and all of this. She learned the game. She seen white boy Rick and the stuff he was involved in, was like, yo, let me get on, and got away. Basically, all of that led to when I met her some years later, and we started dealing with each other all the way up to this point. Then all of a sudden, I'm coming back into my body, and I'm feeling myself like talking, and I look and I'm seeing her in front of me, and I'm trying to figure out what's going on, but I try to finish whatever statement, and whatever I said, it was wrong. And I felt just like if somebody was sitting next to me and just elbowed me. I felt that dead in my ribs. Like, don't be filling in for me. I know what I'm telling my daughter. You know what I'm saying? Like, he literally elbowed. And I was like, okay, the last part that he didn't, that was me. It's me. Wait, stop. Everything but whatever's going on, stop. Like I brought it into it because I didn't know what was going on. That's what those mushrooms be doing. That's the most amazing thing that I've exercised and witnessed in utilizing these mushrooms. Oh, by the way, the next day she left that house and went down the street and was like, Ma, this dude down the street told me you're not really my ma, and that like my dad was like having sex with a young girl and just brought me home, and her mother's response was, who's still alive to know about that?
Whoa.
Confirmed it. A month later, she went and found her real mother, found her brothers and sisters. 6 months later, her real mother died.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Ooh, damn.
How fantastic is that?
How do you boys say? No cap. This woman I'm talking about, she's still around. I can call her up and have her tell the story herself.
Thank you for sharing that, brother.
I've never seen a hidden study quite
Can you handle the truth?
that I was transformed.
Can you handle the truth?
About walking that truth, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I want to thank all of you for being on the show, and I want to give a special shout out to Adara. Adara was on the show. I put up her acknowledgement, and going to have a show soon. She is not only into the shroom, she's also into Tantra.
All right.
Oh, that's my I'd like to anytime I hear somebody's name and I know they done something honorable, I'm gonna speak on it. And I know who you're talking about. When I first moved to Atlanta, I was sleeping on the couch, on my cousin's couch. Jokers don't even know this story, for 30 days. Then I got a house, no furniture or nothing. Adara, she wasn't even going by that name at the time. She said, Oyi, I want to pick your brain. People say this all the time. She came and picked me up, took me to Jeju, the spa, paid for my Jeju spa experience, got me a body scrub, and paid for all my food, just to take notes and talk to me. That's the type of person that's coming to your show. This is a person of integrity. She's studied and embodied Master Yao's technique with the what is his technique called?
Grand Trine.
The Grand Trine, yes. So I would consider her a Grand Trine master. She's also a mother. She's also a wife. She's also a psychonaut. So I'm just giving you the preview, brother, that you bringing on somebody who is not about the bullshits. And you know I don't be just co-signing just any damn body. So that's going to be, text me when that show happens so I can be in the chat room.
Yes, because she has been on the platform already, but her message is so rich, and also Master Yao and also Master Nit Yama, and also Nikki Morgan, Tantrika, all, you know, because there are people outside the country, and we're going to have them on the platform that say psychedelics and Tantra go hand in hand.
The Tantra came from the psychedelics. That's why it's so protected. That's why it's feminine. Grandmaster Sunyata Saraswati said one thing. He said, where there is no love, there is no Tantra. Woo! So Tantra is not just having an orgasm or squirting or being able to keep your dick hard 5 or 6 hours. That don't mean nothing. Where there is no love, there is no Tantra. And entheogens, especially mushrooms and toad, open up the heart to the boundaries that we have set as a society against love. The problem with Black people is our hearts are blocked to love. Conscious community, Christians, Muslims, I don't give a damn. All of you melanated folks, and I'm talking about from Maine to Miami, from Atlantic to the Pacific, your heart is blocked. You got all these conditions of how love is supposed to happen. Love was on the planet unconditional. That's like trying to tell the mushrooms. This is the funniest thing right here. People always talking about, should I set my intentions before I get to take a ceremony? For what? So let's just say I'm 51 years old. The mushrooms have only been on the planet 4 billion years, Hank. 3.5 billion years before humans got here. It knows my entire DNA. What kind of intention can I set off of just being, you know, let's say I can't even think of the whole 51. So let's just say I just go back to I was 17 years old up until 51. That sounds stupid. Trying to tell, that's like you blowing the little flower and you want to tell all the leaves where to go and where to fall. The mushrooms don't care nothing about your intentions. They the one bring the intentions. So that's why I say come empty and leave full. I have every video on the internet that I could find of Kalindi, 69 videos, have watched all of them, and none of them say anything about setting your intentions. You don't know enough to set an intention. I don't know enough. He didn't know enough. So how can you set an intention? You need to come empty. And that's our problem is we so full of stuff, and sometimes stuff is like milk, which spoils, then turns into shit. Then you don't want to go see a Dr. Amsu or somebody who can get you a good cleanse because you know so much. Your head is so full. Your heart is so full of excuses. You ain't got no love, no room for love in your heart because you got excuses in your heart. I'll love Hank if Hank does this. I'll submit to a man if the man can do this. I'll love him conditionally if he do that. What if God was to hit you with 3 if-then statements about loving your ass? You'll suffocate to death. Everybody's disobedient to the Creator, yet he lets you breathe every day. Every day you get to wake up and get another chance and another choice, and your ass want to sit here talking about my intentions. Please shut your mouths, everyone, about your intentions, because the mushrooms have been with you 6 months, 6 years, your whole life before you got there. They've been waiting on your little punk ass to come through there. They got some shit they want to straighten out with you. They got something for your ass.
You telling the truth, brother. And I will say this too. I will share this. I did shrooms by myself. The turkeys came, the chickens came, the fish came, And they said, "We your brothers, why are you eating us? We love you." That took my life to a whole nother celery drinking, veggie chewing lifestyle. You hear me?
Right.
And this happened. And first I tried to play it off and did another mushroom meditation. And here they come, the turkeys, the chicken, the fish. Like, we love you. We uh, we love you. Why are you eating us? So what you just said, brother Oyi, facts, facts, facts.
Yeah, you
I'd
know the
like,
thing with these mushrooms, they've actually helped us to synchronize our movement. Just the fact that all of us are here together and that we're discussing the same thing, because it's really about the great healing, the great transformation. Okay, either we can decide, okay, we have a mission and go about that mission, or we can sit back and let the dial run its course for us. It's one way or another. We can go, or we can go kicking and streaming, or we can just go with the current and go with the flow, and then just use the signs and signals to what's the proper moment with the proper time.
And
That's
you
what I
want
have to do.
let's talk about another deep one. I was with a sister. We had instant chemistry from the time we met in Philadelphia. Now, this wasn't with shrooms, family. This was with ayahuasca, Egyptian ayahuasca. So we laying in the bed in the meditation, and here comes my father's spirit floating above the bed. And I said, "Why you got your face all twisted like that?" And you know how you can telepathically talk while you in the medicine. He said, "Do you know who you in bed with?"
mm,
And I looked up at him like, "Who?" He said, "That's your grandma." And I looked over at her, and she said to me, "I don't feel like we should be intimate." She just said it just like that. Grandma died in 1970.
ooh,
Mm.
And love doesn't die at the last breath. The connections of love. And I love my grandma, and it broke my heart when I saw her being put in the ground down south in Virginia. But her spirit came back. And that's one of many stories. So I just want to say, can you handle the truth? Can you handle the truth of who you are? And the biggest thing, brother Oyi, you probably know this, and Sincere Seven and Amsu, how much we need to forgive.
Well, that's the first one is right in the mirror. Is to
Fact.
forgive ourselves.
That's where it all starts.
Right there. It's inside of our hearts. And I did want to mention that there's some time ago when I was in Santa Fe, New Mexico. So we're going back some time now. Uh, and it was one of the first times I had done ayahuasca. And the sister who I was with at the time, she wasn't interested in going to the ceremony because you know that's another 6 hour journey and trip. But I do know that you know, some of that sludge at the bottom of the ayahuasca, Maki Erdely, who was I was with, he was another doctor, acupuncture back in the day. He said, "Oh, you won't you just take about between 1 to 4 of those? They look like little tea pills outside of the drink." So I took about 3 of them, and I just kind of sat back and watched things go. And then right in front of me, the lady, the sister Lori Pancake, she just showed up as a form of stars in like a salat position. And and from that point, I knew I was like, hey, this stuff is really taking me through some different dimensions. But when I got back home with her, as soon as I walked in, she was there in that prayer position.
Whoa.
So
wow.
that for me was like, okay, it was like we had broke through the time barrier to see exactly what she was doing as before I walked into the house.
That's deep, bro. That's deep.
Yes.
That's deep.
Yes. It was quite a wake up moment.
Hey, brother Hank, while we got the doctor here, a lot of people don't ask him about this, but it's a very serious nature and breakthroughs, right? We know that Baba Kalindi passed away of complications dealing with the lungs. Dr. Amsu, can you tell us your discoveries about the mushrooms and the lungs and what they leave behind, how they leave behind, why they leave behind, and why it's important for us to make sure we take care of our lungs after we are using mushrooms?
Okay, that's a good question. And ultimately, anything that we consume requires energy. It's energy for us to break it down. So it takes an amount of enzymes. And enzymes are energy circulators. It takes us a certain amount of enzymes to liquefy things. The psilocybin, um, because it leaves debris in our bodies, this debris actually affects our organs, and the debris can be left in our lungs or in our kidneys. That's just like many years ago you would find that because the kidneys are a filtration system, many of the shamans would eat the mushrooms, and then they would go pee, and then they would give it to someone else to drink because the potency of it was so strong. And so it's important for us as we're out here living to know, okay, we get rid of debris out of our bodies through three ways. Okay, through waste. We have gas waste, solid waste, water waste, which is urine and sweat. But there's another way in which we have to get waste out of our body, and that's through particle waste. And when these particles jam up nephrons in the kidneys, and also cause issues in our lungs, we need something to go in and help to ionize those blockages. And so those are the things. We have some things that we recommend so to keep things flowing so that that debris doesn't accumulate over time, and then we end up exhibiting a symptom that could have been eliminated. Even though the mushrooms are bringing us something, they're also taking something as well because they want to be whole again, and they're going to do whatever they can to do that in the recycle of things.
Yo, that's awesome, brother. Thank you for sharing that.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, about ready to wrap it up. Any closing words? I want to thank all of you for being on the platform. This was magical. This is a magical day. Happy birthday, Master Kilindi Iyi. It was an
Indeed.
honor meeting you in this lifetime, getting your guidance and instructions. And I'm sure in the journeys we all still see that there's life after life.
Mm.
My my final words is I'm gonna take on more responsibility. I'm gonna continue the responsibility that I have taken on when he asked me to help him with the psychedelic conference. And then the other thing, masters don't teach straight lessons. Okay, so a lot of his teaching is still going on right now. If you just go and like listen to some of the things that he's saying after he's here, they sound like prophecies, right? So I am going to hold a sitter training this summer, and I'm looking for 12 people who really about that life, who want to learn the importance of sitting for others. Now, do not say you want to sit and you ain't took no fruit of the gods. So the fruit of the gods consumption will be included in the course. So if you've already taken 5, 7, and 9 grams, and this is something that you're interested in, you can go to workwithoyi.com and just hit me up in the chat box for either ceremony. Now, if you're interested in ceremony, just go to workwithoyi.com, click on ceremonies, and then you can pick which one of those you want to make a request.
Brother Oyi,
I do have,
give me that
yes.
website again, man, so I could post it right in front of you. Oyi.
Workwithoyi.com.
Okay, hold on. www.workwithoyi.com. Got it.
Yep. And when they do that, you can just go to the menu button, click on ceremonies. And when you click on ceremonies, right now I'm offering Bufo 5-MeO ceremonies and Fruit of the God ceremonies. All the dates are listed out till May. I do have the rest of the year already, the dates, but I only release the dates like 3 months at a time. And I'm looking for these 12 people because I got to step my game up because Sincere is over there running off with the Psychonaut Academy of Detroit. So I got to do my part down here in the South. You know what I mean? And Dr. Amsu is doing his thing in North Carolina. So I want to extend that to folks. So if you want to have a safe, world-class, first-rate experience with a setting, please come work with Oyi. And it's been fabulous, man. I've seen people I ain't never met, perfect strangers, come through here and change their life from traveling all around the world. And that's because Baba Kalindi gave me that confidence, you know what I'm saying? Additional confidence to see something. And like he said, what is beyond our imagination? How can I be the thing that I've been imagining in my mind all the time? That's what I want to be. So when I walk in this room and I see him, you know what I'm saying? And I want to, that ain't what I'm, like all around the room, and I see different images of ourselves.
Wow.
Mansa Musa, like when we gonna pull some water out from Mansa Musa? When we gonna do some mushroom journeys with Mansa Musa and the bee shaman and my aunt? I call this corner money, power, and respect. You know what I mean? Yeah, this money, power, and respect right here. And then of course this corner, Big Papa. This Big Papa corner right here. And so we have the entire space, man, and just want to thank you for what you're doing, because both of us woke up this morning with Baba Kalindi on our minds. You know what I'm saying? That's a fact.
Family, this was not a planned event until
He hit me this morning. He hit me this morning, y'all. I can show you on the phone. He hit me this morning.
And I want to give a special shout out to Nikki, because Nikki reminded me last night, and then she put like the seed thought in me. I think she did that Pisces magic, and I woke up this morning and I was like, oh shoot, we need to do a show, a tribute. So thank you, brothers. Sincere 7, do you have any contacts that you want to post, brother?
Yes. As Brother Oyi shouted out, I'll give thanks. Down at the Psychonaut Academy in Detroit, we teach mycology, how to grow mushrooms, as well as educate on entheogens. This is also another place you can come. I am right now currently at the Medicine House. We just finished Cambo ceremony. The village left. There's a few people here listening to the show. So we have a place where if people want to come just as well, have exercise, some medicine works, even stay in the medicine, things of this nature. The Psychonaut Academy of Detroit on Facebook is the group. On Instagram, what is Instagram? The Detroit Medicine Man? The Psychonaut Academy of Detroit. Okay, Facebook and Instagram.
Okay, let me type that up now.
The Psychonaut Academy of Detroit.
Psychonaut. That's what AUT. Psychonaut Academy on Facebook.
Yep, and Instagram.
And
I like to end all of my shows, my talks, and my appearances with this one quote, and that is: tell somebody you love them in the language that they can understand it in.
Did I type that out right, brother? Psychonaut
Academy of Detroit. But yeah, Psychonaut Academy. It's Psychonaut Academy of Detroit.
Psychonautic Academy.
Psychonaut Academy of Detroit. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I give thanks. If they watching and they want to link in, they gonna get it.
Psychonaut Academy of Detroit.
And yeah, again, if it wasn't for Baba, I wouldn't be on this path. I would have never known. It was the mushrooms that got me into the journey of becoming the medicine man and the shaman I am now. So yes, I give thanks, you know what I'm saying, celebrating his day. And I give thanks and honor Oyi, you know what I'm saying, Dr. Amsu, always, you know, individuals been there for me when I need it. And you as well, brother, for allowing me on your platform. I give thanks.
And thank you.
Dr. Amsu ain't gonna say all of it. I'm gonna go before him. Y'all need to go to Winston-Salem, man. Y'all need to get a reset from this brother. He is a master teacher, but he's terrible at advertising for himself, man. This is the only person I've been trusting my health with over the last 12 years. So he not gonna say that. He not gonna say that because he humble. He's a Pisces. He's a reflector in human design. But his talent level, good God Almighty. So I don't know if the thing froze up or whatever, but Amsu, yes, but man, y'all gotta go. It's worth you jumping on the plane, flying into Charlotte, North Carolina to see this brother. He's in Winston-Salem, but you got to fly into Charlotte or Greensboro. And we're about to start doing some retreats where I'm going to be featuring this brother. I'm about to do a series of retreats called Oyi Son Presents, and it's going to have some of our finest teachers and masters that's amongst us right now, so they can share their wisdom. They've been behind the curtains too long, and Dr. Amsu is one of them.
Yeah.
Thank you, brothers.
Thank you.
We're gonna wrap it up. Peace and blessings.
Thank y'all, man.
Thank you.
Peace and love, man.
Peace.
Say often, yes, I am. Supreme shield of protection surrounding me. Yes, I am. Yes, I am remembering all I was born to do. Yes, I am. Take hold of your crystal, which will magnify your I am affirmations